Good evening, good evening. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Good to be back on here again. I know it's been a while since I've done a Pro Wrestling Talk video, but I've been traveling quite a bit. Was all over the place this past week. From being in Ohio, Virginia, West Virginia, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, New York. Hit quite a number of states within a week. So, been quite busy with a lot of things going on, but it is great to be back on here. So, a couple of things I wanted to talk about in this episode. One, I wanted to give a recap of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Capital Collision. I did a preview a while back, but I never got a chance to do a recap. I did get a chance to watch it before I went on vacation, so I wanted to take the time to give a recap of what went down. I also want to go ahead and give my predictions for the upcoming Stardom Flashing Champions pay-per-view that is coming up this weekend. So, definitely looking forward to that. It's a very big card. And I know this could be a time that I could do the Double or Nothing recap, but with a final go-home episode of Dynamite and Rampage coming up this week, I'm at least wait until after Dynamite to give my predictions on Double or Nothing, because I'm actually going to probably miss Rampage because I will be at Animazement this weekend, but I still will be able to catch the Double or Nothing pay-per-view live. And I will also catch the Stardom Flashing Champions pay-per-view, probably archived, but that's the plan. But a lot to look forward to. But anyway, let's do a quick recap of Capital Collision. Capital Collision was May 14th in Washington, D.C. Shout-outs to Count Blackula and Virtual Kazama. Good friends of mine that actually attended that show. That was their first New Japan Pro Wrestling event that they have attended live. So, glad they got a chance to go. Glad y'all had a good time. But anyway, let's do a quick recap. Now, they did have a dark match, which they didn't air on the pay-per-view, which was Kevin Knight versus the Factory's Nick Comoroto, which Nick Comoroto got the victory from a Philadelphia Stampede. Fairly quick match. Didn't get a chance to see it, but just from reading the results, that's what happened, because it was a dark match. So, the official start was a singles match between Ren Narita and Carl Fredericks. Definitely a good match. Very much back and forth. I like both of these wrestlers. Definitely a really good match, but Carl Fredericks was able to get the victory with the MD. Very good match to start off, but then of course afterwards got attacked by the Factory. So, looking forward to see what type of storyline follows between Carl Fredericks and the Factory. You know, the Factory have kind of been, appearing on a lot of NJPW Strong shows recently. So, I mean, it's really good to see them get more involved on New Japan Pro Wrestling soil. So, I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. We had a 10-man tag match, which had Fred Rosser, Dave Finlay, Tangaloa, Yu Uemura, and the DKC taking on Team Filthy, led by Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Dro Nelson of the West Coast Wrecking Crew, J.R. Kratos, and Danny Limelight. So this was quite a showdown. Decent match between both teams, and Danny Limelight ended up getting the really fancy Tornado DDT. That symbiote DDT puts away the DKC for the 1-2-3, and Team Filthy stands tall. Definitely a decent match, back and forth. Like I said, Fred Rosser has been feuding with Filthy Tom Lawler and the rest of Team Filthy lately. So this has been kind of back and forth between these two. So, but Team Filthy came out with the victory. Next up, we had a singles match. United Empire's The Great O'Karn taking on Bullet Club's Chase Owens. I was actually kind of surprised at the outcome. I did not expect this. Was kind of a cheesy finish. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of a cheesy finish. But Chase Owens got the roll up on the Great O'Karn for the 1-2-3. Did not expect that at all. Not saying that the Great O'Karn was going to easily run away with this, but I originally would have thought the Great O'Karn would have won. But Chase Owens with the roll up and seals the victory. Very unexpected. I did not call that. I did not call that at all. Wasn't too long of a match, but dang, just wasn't too big of a fan of the finish. Okay, next up we had an 8-man tag, which pits United Empire's Aaron Hanare, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Jeff Cobb going up against Jonah, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito. This was actually a pretty good match. Wasn't really sure what to expect, but I liked the nice showdown between Jeff Cobb and Jonah. That was actually something I was looking forward to in this match, and they definitely did not disappoint. I'm hoping to see these two clash in singles competition very soon. But Mikey Nichols picked up the victory for his team by pinning Kyle Fletcher after hitting the Thunder Valley. But it was a pretty good match. Definitely a match that I liked, and glad to see Jeff Cobb and Jonah face off. That was really cool. Next up, we had pretty much one of my favorite matches of the night. Thought was really, really cool. Brody King taking on Minoru Suzuki. I definitely really enjoyed this match. It could have been longer though, but for what they gave us, I thought it was good. But it could have been longer. But still, a match that I definitely enjoyed. And sure enough, most folks think this was probably an upset, but honestly, I wouldn't say this is an upset. Brody King got the victory after hitting the Gonzo bomb. I wouldn't say it's an upset. You know, I think Brody King definitely can make some noise as a singles competitor and has done so before. I mean, he almost won the strong open weight championship. I mean, he was in the finals against Filthy Tom Lawler. So, I mean, a big win like that over Minoru Suzuki doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. But definitely a match I enjoyed. It was good to see them trade strikes and really just take it to each other. But sure enough, he hits the Murder Grandpa with the Gonzo bomb and gets the 1-2-3. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Next up, we had what I thought was the top match on the entire card. The singles match between Eddie Kingston and the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. This match was a barn burner. Definitely the match of the card. And I was thinking Eddie Kingston was going to pull it off, and he came very, very close. I mean, these two behemoths really took it to the max against each other. Hard hitting back and forth. For a while, one had momentum, and then the other had momentum. It was just a very hard-hitting match. The best on the card. But sure enough, the Stone Pit Bull was able to grind it out, hit a vertical drop brainbuster, and seal the victory. The 1-2-3 beating Eddie Kingston. I would love to see a rematch between these two. Maybe on AEW soil. You know, who knows? Maybe give them a rematch at Forbidden Door. I'd be down. I would love to see a rematch. Book it for Forbidden Door. Why not? Why not? Shoot, I would sign up for that. But best match on the card, hands down. All right, then we had ourselves a tag team match. We had the Bullet Club's Jay White and Hikuleo taking on Kazuchika Okada and Rocky Romero. This was definitely a great match. Really got to see a good bit of Rocky Romero showcased, especially with the promo that he gave leading up to this match. Definitely back and forth. Really could have gone either way. I mean, you have Okada and Jay White. I mean, you know, they have a lot of history. So, this is nothing new. But, sure enough, despite Rocky Romero's great efforts, he suffers a Blade Runner, and he gets pinned 1-2-3 by Jay White. But it was definitely a really great match, and we really got to see a very lit, a very strong Rocky Romero in this match. Love it, love it, love it. And then the main event, we had a fatal four-way for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi, defended against Jon Moxley, Juice Robinson, and Will Ospreay. Ooh, man. Good match. Definitely deserved to be the main event, but once again, Will Ospreay just cannot catch a break. And honestly, I was kind of surprised at the outcome. So the new Bullet Club member of Juice Robinson ends up pinning Will Ospreay to win the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, which I believe this is now his second or third title reign? Second or third. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is Juice Robinson's second or third U.S. Championship reign. But was kind of surprised. I honestly did not think he was going to win it. You know, I actually picked Will Ospreay to win, but I guess they had to get something going, being that Juice Robinson just joined the Bullet Club, swerved everybody about the whole leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling and joined Bullet Club, and sure enough, wins the title. And apparently now he's rock hard. We also had an appearance by Lio Rush, who's not medically cleared yet, but he made his claim that when he is medically cleared, he's going to bring the fire to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So definitely looking forward to seeing Lio Rush return to action when he's cleared. I'm looking forward to it. I do like Lio Rush. I think he's a beast in the ring. So I look forward to him getting cleared. But yeah, that is Capital Collision. That's in the books. Like I said, my friends attended the show live and they had a good time. So I'm glad they had a good time. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and let's look at the current standings of the best of the Super Juniors tournament going on. So they're really starting to kick it into overdrive. So let's look at the standings. Starting with Block A. So sitting with 2 points in Block A are Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Clark Connors, Sho, Francesco Akira, and Ryusuke Taguchi. All 5 of these men have 2 points. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, his one victory was over Hiromu Takahashi, made him tap out. But he's lost to Yo, Alex Zane, and Ace Austin. Clark Connors, he just recently finally got a victory, beating Ryusuke Taguchi, but has lost to Ace Austin, Sho, and Yo. Sho, despite his numerous cheating efforts, was able to finally get a victory over Clark Connors, but lost to Alex Zane, Francisco Akira, and Taiji Ishimori. Francisco Akira has a victory over Sho, but has lost to Ryusuke Taguchi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Alex Zane. And then Ryusuke Taguchi, Mr. Buttman, has a victory over Francisco Akira, but has lost to Clark Connors, Hiromu Takahashi, and Taiji Ishimori. So all 5 of them have 2 points. Yo stands alone in Block A with 4 points. So let's take a look at Yo. Yo has 2 victories. He has a victory over Clark Connors and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, but has lost to Taiji Ishimori and Ace Austin. Alright, we have a 3-way tie with 6 points between Alex Zane, Ace Austin, and Hiromu Takahashi. Let's look at Alex Zane, somebody that I'm definitely rooting for. Alex Zane has 3 victories, one against Francesco Akira, Sho, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. His one loss is against Taiji Ishimori. Ishimori made him tap out. Ace Austin, he has 3 victories against Clark Connors, Yo, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. His one loss was against Hiromu Takahashi. And then Hiromu Takahashi, who's been the tournament winner the last two years. He also has three wins over Ace Austin, Francesco Akira, and Ryusuke Taguchi, and his one loss was against Yoshinobu Kanemaru, who actually made him tap out. It's crazy. And sitting at the top of the A block with 8 points, still undefeated, is Bone Soldier, the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Taiji Ishimori. That is right. He is still undefeated, 4-0, with wins over Alex Zane, Ryusuke Taguchi, Sho, and Yo. I don't know. I mean, there's still opportunities left for Hiromu, Ace Austin, Alex Zane, and even Yo. It's really winding down. For the most part, everybody has at least about 5 matches left. So, I mean, it's starting to wind down. But I think it's going to be close. It remains to be seen who really is going to do like a last-minute surge, get on a win streak, and get some more points. But right now, Taiji Ishimori is looking very strong, still undefeated. Nobody's been able to defeat him yet. All right, let's take a look at Block B. Block B, we have a 3-way tie with 2 points between Titan, Master Watto, and TJP. Let's look at Teton. Teton only has one victory, which he just recently got. He's got a victory over TJP, but he's lost to El Lindemann, El Desperado, and El Fantasmo. He's lost to all the L's. Let's see. Master Watto. Master Watto's been struggling quite a bit, but he finally got on the board with a victory against Robbie Eagles, but he's lost to TJP, El Fantasmo, and Bushi. And then TJP has a victory over Master Watto, but has lost to Teton, El Lindemann, and El Desperado. All right. We have a four-way tie with 4 points with Wheeler Yuta, Doki, Bushi, and Robbie Eagles. This is a very, very tight battle here. Let's take a look at Wheeler Yuta, the current ROH Pure Champion. He is 2-2. He has victories over Bushi and Doki, and has lost to Robbie Eagles and El Desperado, which was a really, really close match. He almost beat El Desperado, but he's 2-2. Still one of the favorites in this tournament, but we'll see what happens. Doki is 2-2. He's got victories over El Lindemann and El Desperado, but he's lost to Robbie Eagles and Wheeler Yuta. You have Bushi, my favorite LIJ member. Bushi is also 2-2. He's got victories over Master Watto and Robbie Eagles, which definitely was a big upset. And he's lost to El Fantasmo and Wheeler Yuta. And then Robbie Eagles, the Sniper of the Skies, is also 2-2. He has victories over Wheeler Yuta and Doki, but has lost to Bushi and Master Watto. Alrighty. And then we have a three-way tie at the top with 6 points. All 3 L's. That's right. El Lindemann, El Fantasmo, and El Desperado. The 3 L's. Might as well be the 3 amigos. All 3 have 6 points. Let's look at El Lindemann. El Lindemann, 3-1. Really off to a great start. He's got victories over El Desperado, TJP, and Teton, and has the 1 loss against Doki. El Fantasmo, he is 3-1. He's got victories over Bushi, Master Watto, and Teton, and has a loss against Doki. And then El Desperado has 3 wins over TJP, Teton, and Wheeler Yuta, and has the 1 loss to El Lindemann. So it's still very, very close. If you ask me, but between both blocks, so June 3rd is when the finals will be. June 3rd. Honestly, from Block A, I mean, either of the top 4, Alex Zane, Ace Austin, Hiromu Takahashi, or Taiji Ishimori, I could see in the finals. I really hope it's not Hiromu. I hope it's not Hiromu, but at the same time, Hiromu would make history if he won this year's Best of Super Juniors. He will become the first to ever win it 3 times in a row. No one has done that yet in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. So there's a double-edged sword to that. If Hiromu wins it this year, he completes the hat trick and is the first one to have ever done a hat trick with the Best of Super Juniors tournament. 3 back-to-back years. It's never been done before. Hiromu has has won 3 Best of Super Juniors tournament. But remember, they weren't 3 in a row. So this year he has a chance to do it 3 in a row, which has never been done before. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I really hope he doesn't win. I really hope he doesn't make it to the finals. I would really rather like to see somebody like Ace Austin, Alex Zane, Taiji Ishimori. I don't see that happening. Sho, I don't see that happening. Clark Connors and Kanemaru, don't see it. I would like to see Francesca Akira make one last ditch surge to maybe have a fighting chance to make it to the finals. But we'll see. And then for Block B, I would like to see Wheeler Yuta make it to the finals, but it probably won't happen. Honestly, out of the top 3, it's probably going to be one of the top 3. El Desperado, El Fantasma, or even El Lindemann. Robbie Eagles, I doubt it. It's not impossible, but I doubt it. Bushi and Doki, doubt it. TJP, doubt it. Master Wato, doubt it. Teton, doubt it. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but, there's still plenty of matches left. So, not quite done yet. Like I said, they at least have another week of matches. So, we'll see what happens. But anyway, I also saw that it has been announced, while we're still on New Japan Pro Wrestling, that NJPW Strong will be coming back to Charlotte, North Carolina with their newly announced show, High Alert, which will be at the Grady Cole Center on Sunday, July 24th. Definitely looking forward to that. Tickets go on sale this Friday, May 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely looking forward to that. I was at both New Japan Pro Wrestling, the New Beginning shows that took place recently in North Carolina. One was in Charlotte and the other was in Durham. I was at both of those. They were good, especially the one in Durham. That was excellent. So I'm definitely looking forward to High Alert, because the New Beginning was in Charlotte at the Grady Cole Center back in 2019. So I'm definitely looking forward to this show. NJPW Strong, High Alert. And I can't wait till they start announcing the card for it. Looking forward to it. Now that hopefully, with travel restrictions lifted between the States and Japan, hopefully we'll get a chance to see more of the stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling in Japan make the trip to Charlotte. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed. But definitely looking forward to that show. I plan to attend that show. Okay, let's switch gears to Stardom. So, before we get into Stardom Flashing Champions, it has also been announced Stardom New Blood number 3. That's right. New Blood number 3 will be held on July 8th at the Shinagawa Intercity Hall, which was actually the same venue where New Blood number 1 took place. So, yeah, the Stardom New Blood shows have been very good lately. 1 and 2 were both great. So I really like that they're continuing to do these New Blood shows. Get some more showcase on the rookies as well as other promotions. I mean, we've seen many promotions represented in the previous New Bloods. I mean, we've seen Gato Move Pro Wrestling. We've seen Diana, Just Tap Out, Colors recently. You know, we've seen quite a number of different promotions represented. So I really like what they're doing with this. So yeah, New Blood number 3, July 8th. So definitely look forward to that. Which actually, July 8th. What day is that on? That's on a Friday. That's on a Friday. So definitely looking forward to that. All right. Let's take a look at the upcoming pay-per-view. Stardom Flashing Champions. This will be on May 28th, which is Saturday. So Saturday, May 28th at the Ota City General Gymnasium in Tokyo, Japan. So this is a very, very stacked card. All 7 Stardom championships will be defended in this pay-per-view. So definitely get pumped, get excited. And there will be 10 matches. 10 matches on this card. This is a stacked card. Let's get into it. Now, I don't know if one of these matches are going to be a pre-show match. I hope they'll all be on the pay-per-view. I hope none of them is missed. But I really hope none of them are pre-show matches. I hope all 10 will be part of the pay-per-view. But let's get into it. So first up, we have a 6-woman tag team match. We have Cosmic Angels, Unagi Sayaka, Mina Shirakawa, and Waka Tsukiyama taking on Prominence of Suzu Suzuki, Akane Fujita, and Mochi Natsumi. Yeah. Prominence is going to destroy Cosmic Angels. And unfortunately, Waka Tsukiyama, despite showing fire and vigor and confidence and aggression at the press conference, she's going to eat the pin. I mean, let's just keep it real. And because honestly, whenever she gets her first win, it needs to be in a singles match. It really needs to be in a singles match. But Prominence, I'm picking Prominence to get the victory. I think they're going to flat out destroy Cosmic Angels. So, Prominence for the win. All right, next up we have a tag team match where we have Queen's Quest, Utami Hayashishita and Miyu Amasaki taking on the newly formed White Knights with Tam Nakano and a returning Kairi. That's right. Kairi will be back in action at this pay-per-view. That's right. Teaming up with Tam Nakano. And sure enough, I believe the White Knights will get the victory. Probably Miyu Amasaki. I'm hoping she puts up a good fight, but I could see her getting pinned. I could definitely see her getting pinned. But I do hope at some point we get a chance to see Utami Hayashishita versus Kairi. I definitely want to see that match. I want to see that match. Hopefully, maybe this will be the start of building up to that. But I definitely want to see Kairi versus Utami Hayashishita at some point. At some point. Hopefully this year, but at some point I want to see that match. But I'm picking White Knights to win this tag team match. Okay. And then, let's see. We got ourselves a 6-woman tag team match. Quite an interesting pairing here. Very interesting pairing. We got Queen's Quest's Lady C and Hina teaming up with God's Eyes, Ami Sore. And they'll be taking on stars Saya Ida and Momokogo and Oedo Tai's Rina. This is a very, very weird matchup. Sorry about that. Very weird matchup. This is tough. This is actually a really tough one to pick. This is a tough one to pick. Oh man. Honestly, this could go either way. I'm gonna go with Stars and Rena. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stars and Rena. But this match could go either way. But I'm gonna pick Stars and Rena to pick up the victory. Well, and it could go to a time limit draw. I don't think it will, but I'm gonna pick Stars, Saya Ida, and Momokogo and Rena to get the victory. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our title matches for the card. Let's get into our title matches. We got the Future of Stardom Championship on the line as Hanan will defend against Oedo Tai's Ruaka. Honestly, I know Ruaka is a former Future of Stardom champion, but I don't see her really reclaiming the title in this case. You know, he'll put up a good fight, but honestly, Hanan is on a great streak. Hanan's been very strong in defending this title, and I think she's going to keep that streak going, and I think she retains the Future of Stardom Championship. So I'm picking Hanan of Stars to retain the Future of Stardom Championship. Okay, we got the SWA World Championship on the line as the champ, the leader of Stars, the icon of Stardom, Mayu Iwatani, defends against Oedo Tai's Fukiken Death. Yeah, Fukiken Death ain't winning. Let's just keep it real. What I really don't understand about this is, doesn't this break the rule of how the SWA Championship is to be defended? Doesn't this break the rule? I don't get this. Because Mayu Iwatani and Fukiken Death are both Japanese. So I don't really understand. Like, are they just throwing that rule out the window now? Is that how it is? Somebody let me know. Are they just throwing that rule out the window? Because typically the rule for the SWA Championship is that it's, whoever's the champion has to defend it against somebody of a different nationality. Like in this case, Mayu Iwatani is Japanese. She should only be able to defend it against somebody that's not Japanese. Which, Fukiken Death is Japanese. So, I don't really understand. I don't really understand. Because both ladies are Japanese. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm picking I'm picking Mayu Iwatani to retain. Easily retain. Anyway, next up we have the Artists of Stardom Trios Championships being defended as Mai Hime Poi defend against Oedo Tai, Saki Kashima, Momo Watanabe, and Starlight Kid. Now, I think you got to keep Mai Hime Poi strong. This should be a good match. And while Oedo Tai, the team, this team put together, are capable of winning, they could pull it off. But I think Mai Hime Poi will retain. I think they'll retain. But it would not surprise me if Oedo Tai happened to pull it off. But I'm picking Mai Hime Poi to retain. Next up, we have the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles on the line as Fukuoka Double Crazy, the champions, Hazuki and Koguma of Stars, defend against Donna Del Mondo's Julia and Mai Sakurai. Now, I'm hoping that Mai Sakurai puts up a good fight, but I expect Fukuoka Double Crazy to retain. For sure. I definitely believe they will retain. Okay, next up we have the High Speed Championship on the line, as the champ, Queen's Quest Azumi, will defend against Donna Del Mondo's Toxic Spider, Thekla. I know this is going to sound crazy, but they could pull a swerve and put the high-speed title on Thekla. I know she just recently lost the SWA Championship, but, you know, Azumi's been on a pretty long run. And honestly, some may think that Thekla lost the SWA title rather soon. It would not shock me too much if they pulled a swerve and booked Thekla to dethrone Azumi. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Azumi will retain, but it would not surprise me if they pulled a swerve and Thekla wins. I'm going to just go ahead and throw that out there. But I am picking Azumi to retain. All right. Next up, we have the Wonder of Stardom Championship on the line, as Saya Kamitani will defend against the winner of this year's Cinderella tournament, God's Eyes Mirai. I gotta be honest with y'all. Mirai's been on a hot streak. She's been on a hot streak. All the way up to winning the Cinderella tournament. And to be honest, I'm thinking Mirai is going to end up dethroning Saya Kamitani. As much as I don't want that to happen, I think Mirai might actually dethrone Saya Kamitani and win the white belt. I really don't want that to happen because honestly, I feel like somebody like Micah or Himeka should do it. But Mirai's been on a hot streak, y'all. I mean, let's just keep it real. Mirai has been on a hot streak. And she won the Cinderella tournament to get this opportunity. So honestly, Saya Kamitani, as much as I want her to win, I think she ends up losing to Mirai, and Mirai becomes the new Wonder of Stardom champion. As crazy as that sounds, Mirai has been on a hot streak. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be cheering for Saya Kamitani, but I'm predicting she gets dethroned. I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling she's going to get dethroned. And then the main event, the World of Stardom Championship, will be decided in a no count out, knockout, and submission rules match. That's right. Knockout and submission rules match. The champ, Shuri, leader of God's Eye, takes on Risa Serra, the leader, I believe is the leader of Prominence. This was Shuri's chosen opponent. Now, lately, Prominence has kind of, done some cheap attacks, some cheap shots on the red belt champion Shuri. But this is where Shuri gets her payback in impressive fashion and gets the victory and retains the World of Stardom Championship. Because it's going to be tough to dethrone Shuri, I can tell you that. And while Risa Sera will be a great challenge, as much as I hate to admit it, something tells me that they're saving Shuri for Julia. As much as I hate to admit that, I think that's what they're doing. But yes, I'm picking Shuri to retain. So honestly, out of this whole card, I could really only see one, maybe two title changes. One or maybe two title changes out of all 7 championship matches. I'm predicting 1 to possibly 2 title changes. But this is a very stacked card, and I am very excited. Very excited. Like I said, I might not catch it live, but I am going to order it and catch the archive. So definitely looking forward to that. But that's all that I have for this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. Like I said, I'll do another video after AEW Dynamite and give my double or nothing predictions. But anyway, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Let me know what y'all think about NJPW's Capital Collision. How are you liking the Best of Super Juniors tournament so far? Who do you want to win the tournament? What are your picks for Stardom Flashing Champions? Who do you think will come out on top? And are you looking forward to the upcoming New Blood number 3? Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. For this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, I'm your host, Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day, and I will see y'all very soon. Take care, and good night. Peace.